All right. Welcome, everyone. Andrew D'Amico here, CPA partner at Ledgerly, alongside my good friend Mike.
Abrahamian, CPA, co-partner, co-founder, the brains behind the operation.
Yeah, it's just hidden under the hair. He brings all the class together. We run Ledgerly, where we're all about tax advisory services for our clients, because that's where all the value add is. Hey, how can we save on taxes, build our asset protection, and set us up for long-term generational wealth? That's what we're all about here. So wherever you're listening to this, probably on YouTube, please like, comment, hit the subscribe button, because we're here constantly giving out free game for you guys, and we just want to see you guys do better as the hardworking American taxpayer. But all that aside, sitting here with Mike, we're actually recording this in November 2025. We're out at a conference and within our tax advisory network, and we've had, I guess you could call it a week of reflection.
Yes, very much so.
And it got us thinking, when we're rolling out content or things for you guys, it's all about little tidbits, little fact nuggets, little strategies throughout the year, call to actions. But just wanted to take this time for this episode today to take a step back and kind of analyze your business. Now, granted, our audience are self-employed business owners, right? We're not just working a 9 to 5. We went out on our own, started with a side hustle, graduated to a full-on business, right? That's kind of our niche where we speak the most to. And I think as the business owner, we get so caught up in wearing every single hat in the business, right?
Yeah.
You're the accountant, we're the accountants, but you're the business owner, you're client facing, right? Whatever you're doing. I don't care if you're mowing lawns or you're a financial planner, you're dealing with a client in some capacity, whether you're fulfilling a service or a product, you're doing that, you're making money. Then you also have to advertise your business. Then you have to do the books for your business. There's so many hats to wear. And I think business owners, I know you and I have experienced this, we get so caught up in the day-to-day. Rarely do we find the time to take a step back and be like, okay, what's going well, what's going wrong, what do I need to improve on, and just kind of the life cycle of the business. Did I leave anything out there?
No, man, I'm glad you brought this up because, like you said, this has been a week of, we've been here for 2 days, 3 days out with our tax advisory network. Mark Kohler, shout out to you. And like Andrew said, reflection. We're taking a step back. At the end of the day, yeah, we're tax advisors. You might have a landscaping business. You might have a consumer good business. You might have a service business. But at the end of the day, we're playing on the same playing field. We're all business owners. So this week has been an incredible asset to us to really take that step back. Like, okay, well, we are all business owners. So we're all playing the same game for the same team. And that's why I'm excited. The agenda that you cooked up for us, I'm ready to freaking rock. That we are taking that step back and not focusing just on the tax strategy today, but hopefully what you'll get out of this is some tidbits and nuggets of being a business owner and some mistakes and pitfalls that you might fall into and to try and avoid those pitfalls. So I'm ready to rock if you are.
Well said. Yeah, so let's take a step. I know you've been taking better notes than me at this event, but you can kind of break out a business into 4 different stages.
Yes.
Right. So stage 1, what does he call that? Essentially, that's when you're startup mode.
Startup and structure.
Right. So at this stage, you're in stage 1 of your business before you even make a dollar, and even after you make a dollar. Right. You're just trying to catch your bearings, more or less.
Correct.
So that's stage 1. Stage 2 is optimization. Okay, so you've been making money, and now there's some inefficiencies probably that, let's say if you were to ever try and pull in someone into your world, into your business, it can't function because everything's up here.
Correct.
So how can you expect someone to just come into your world? Like, let's take us, for instance. We use a variety of different softwares in our business. We have a client portal.
Yep.
We have a tax software. We run different social media accounts, and not only the accounts, but like the preface to that, we have different softwares to edit the videos, clean the audio, and that's just to name a few things. We got to do billing, charge clients. We have payment.
AI softwares, payment processing.
Yeah. All these different things and variables, we have the logins. We know, hey, when I go into billing, this is the process to go through. Click on the client, enter card information. Where's the card information? Oh, let me go over to their portal or their signed engagement letter. And everything is, all over the place.
Right.
Rather inefficient if you're going to pull in someone from the outside and say, hey, yep, you're going to handle billing, you're going to handle client calls, you're going to do X, Y, and Z. And they're like, okay, well, where's the phone? Where
Yeah.
are the log?
Where's the SOP? Where's the standard operating procedure? And that's been a big takeaway is, like you said, everything's up here. But we got to get everything from up here on paper or in a Google Drive or something. Get it in a document where you can go into Ledgerly. Okay, Ledgerly admin or Ledgerly marketing. And there everyone has a standard operating procedure. And each client has a standard operating procedure for how we handle the month end, or so be it.
How we handle a bookkeeping client, how we
Yes.
handle an advisory client, how we handle a tax return, how do we handle a tax return for a business, an individual, pivot over to a service-based business, somebody who's, we talked about landscaping. Okay, what's the procedure for somebody that wants just their lawn mowed? What if somebody's getting ready for a party and they want to do, the shrubs, or they need to clean up, I don't know, leaves in the fall, whatever, right? There's a lot of different services somebody might offer. It's going to be easy for you as the business owner who's been doing it, what, for 20 years. Now you're going to pull in someone else to just pick it up. What if they have no experience, right? So part 2 or stage 2 is optimizing all of these things, because one, it's probably inefficient. And then number 2, which kind of segues into our stage 3, is how can I just, like Mike said, have a standard operating procedure somewhere, so when I go to stage 3 and scaling and actually hiring more people or doing more outreach, reinvesting into the business and trying to grow it, how can I have someone just come in and see all of our SOPs and take that and run with it?
Correct. Because the goal is SOPs, standard operating procedures, but also to clone yourself. Like, it would be great for us to just snap our fingers and there's 2 more Mike and Andrews here. And we're like, all right, you guys are kind of like an AI employee, whether it's an AI employee or a human being, where you can just give it to them. They have the same mindset as you, and you know that it's going to get done the right way. But we can't do that. We can't go to phase 3 with the scaling and saving before phase 2 is incomplete. So we got to make sure,
because it's going to be hard to scale when everything's so inefficient.
Yes.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're squarely in stage 2. And now there's no right or wrong answer about how long you stay in each of these phases. It's going to be different for everybody. But what we've learned as we continue to try and grow is, hey, maybe we're not ready for stage 3, because right now, like we said, everything's all over the place. Yes, we know where to find everything, but if we're going to bring in someone from the outside, it's going to be hard for them to just pick up and go.
Exactly. So I'd kind of say stage 2. I would say it takes the longest. It's kind of like that pre-teens, like trying to figure yourself out stage. Like, is that girl going to talk to me at the dance or whatever? Like, things that you don't know. And I think it does take a long time, and things that you want to do. You want to go to the bar and grab a drink, but you're not 21. So it's like, I would say it's almost like the age of 12 to 21, and it takes that many years, but it's a bigger push, and you're trying to figure it out. So I guess my takeaway with phase 2 is, do not feel discouraged about how long it takes, because it's going to be different for every business, every mindset, your passion, your interest, your client base. There's so many variables that go into this. So if you're stuck in phase 2, don't worry. We're at Ledgerly. We are in phase 2 right now. And this was a big realization I know you've heard Mark talk about the 4 phases of business, but this was the first time that it clicked for me. And I'm like, excuse my French, holy shit. So eye-opening experience for me, and I think a lot of people in the room, for phase 2. I don't like it's a love-hate relationship with phase 2.
It's not easy.
It's not. It really isn't.
Yeah, and as bad as we want to get to phase 3 and keep going, got to hold yourself accountable. And for us, I think this experience has been good. And like you said, kind of clicked for us. We don't get this opportunity very often to take a step back and look at our business from, a bird's eye view and see all the different moving pieces, because we're in every single moving piece every single day. We are client facing. We are handling billings. We are handling social media. There's a lot that goes into it. So don't skip on phase 2. Don't skimp on phase 2. Don't rush through it. Take your time. You will know when you're ready to scale, maybe out of need. Obviously, you're driving ambition, but make sure you start going through the process. Hey, take it one step at a time. I'm not saying you have to do this every day, but for you as the business owner. Coming up on year end, this is a perfect opportunity. If you've heard us talk about before, our board of advisors, this is something that's great to do, kind of like an audit review of your own business, and you can kind of see for yourself where you're at. So with a board of advisors meeting coming up on year end, you have close family, maybe friends, but a group of, let's say, 5 people, and you pick a date. Maybe you rent out a space at a hotel, or you get a private room at a restaurant, or you just do it in your own dining room. Doesn't matter. Print out your financials for the year, outline some things that you want to improve on. Hey, I know my marketing needs to be better, or hey, I know I'm being inefficient in these areas, and get some feedback from your board. Everybody has different experiences. The way that you look at something, the way I look at something is different than how Mike looks at it. So when you get this group together, it could be a collaborative experience and help you outline what you need to do to maybe continue going through phase 2, or hey, now I'm ready to go on to phase 3 and start scaling.
It's perfect. Do we want to hit phase 3? Want to go back to the board? What do we want to do?
Yeah, so phase 3, we've alluded to it and said it. It's just scaling, right?
Scaling and saving. So I guess the one of the big takeaways I took from this phase, scaling and saving, is that savings piece. Because as a startup business owner, there's really 2 things that you think of when you're making money. Like, number 1, you got to pay yourself because you need to live, and then number 2, you want to reinvest back into the business. But that third bucket is the saving piece. We want to make sure that we're taking advantage of our retirement, we're putting money away for that rainy day fund, and we're taking advantage of different tax strategies that are going to help either defer the tax or pay the tax now, put it away in Roth. That's where the whole tax strategy comes in. However, the biggest piece for phase 3 is making sure we're not sucking all the money out of the business. Like, we're not siphoning out like it's a personal bank account, or else you're going to suffocate the business. The business is going to, like Mark said, you got a great business here. You're taking all the distributions out. You're taking all the profit out. Don't suffocate the business, but at the same time, don't put all your eggs in one basket and reinvest everything back into the business. Yep, we know that there's different softwares and marketing and AI tools that might help the business grow and optimize and all that stuff. But know when you're ready, because you'll know, because you'll be in phase 3 when you have that excess cash flow where you're like, I'm already paying myself. Cool. I've already reinvested what I need back in the business, but I got 10,000 extra bucks here. What should I do with this? Well, then you would call your tax advisor, you'd call Ledgerly, and we'd come up with a nice advisory implementation plan to save, to grow your generational wealth, which brings to number 4, exit and legacy, phase 4, unless you want anything on phase.
No,
back to phase 3.
No, but I do like that point you said about not suffocating the business. I think that's kind of applicable, I guess, across all stages. So again, in our life cycle, we have stage 1, startup, stage 2, optimize, stage 3, scaling, and number 4 is your exit plan or the legacy plan at the end. When you're in phase 1 and starting up, hey, maybe you do have, a couple clients, but you're still trying to get your footing. Don't drain all your profit to pay yourself. And how we started, we're both working full time while starting this on the side. So we didn't have that need to live off of the business from day 1.
Right.
We grew into that. We grew to a point where, hey, now we could live off this thing. So it's important, I think, throughout all the stages that you don't suffocate, you don't take out all the monies, because you are going to need money to, hey, okay, back in stage 2, we're optimizing. Oh, hey, maybe I do need a software that's going to help organize everything for me. Oh, okay, it's a couple grand a year. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. But at the same time, making sure it's not taken away from your daily living. If you have another job in the mix, or hey, you have a spouse in your picture, so you have 2 incomes, maybe you could live off one while you're using the business monies on the other side to reinvest and help that go from stage 1 to 2 to 3. So I do like that point. Yeah. Because how do I say that? Yeah, just don't suffocate the business.
Yeah. I was trying to pull it out of you.
It's really what it comes down to.
But then you said earlier, like, Mike thinks differently than I do. I'm like trying to pull it out of you, but maybe I'm not going to pull out what you were thinking there. I don't know. Yes, suffocating the business, bad. Don't do it. And if you're afraid that you are suffocating the business, but you don't know if you are, like Andrew said, like the board of advisors, like that's why you have your board of advisors. Is there's going to be constructive criticism. That's a huge word for me today. I'm proud I said that. And you might leave a board meeting, with a close, near, dear friend that puts you on blast and says, hey, you really should reevaluate X, Y, and Z. And then that will take your relationship with that person to the next level and make you value them even better as a friend and an advisor. So board of advisors. But on stage 4, exit and legacy, that's, I think, the biggest piece there is making sure you're structured, because that's startup and structures phase 1, but it also translates to phase 4, because you want to make sure that you're structured in a way that when you're passing it on or you're selling your business, that you're structured in a way that you aren't going to have to absorb all that tax up front, or you can defer the tax somewhere, or it's set up in your trust. We don't want to just put in the sole proprietorship in your social security number, because then everyone's at risk. Like, you're at risk personally. So that's why stage 4, exit and legacy, is very important to the people you might be passing on the business to, and your generational wealth to. When you're 6 feet under in the grave, don't want to think about that too much, because we're young and we're young and gunning, and want to help young business owners, just like everyone watching this. But it is important to keep stage 4 in the back of your head.
I don't know about you, but I'm never going to die, so I don't have to deal with stage 4.
Great. So Ledgerly will turn into a single member LLC.
Yeah.
I will probably at some point.
No, but on stage 4, it's not just the, hey, passing it on to the next generation if you want to keep it a family business. It could be selling the business. So having an idea, yeah, the exit could look a variety of different ways. If it's something that you have kids, you're bringing them up, you put them on your board when they're in their teens or they're going off to college, and let's just say you didn't force them into it, but they want to be, in our instance, they want to be an accountant just like daddy. Okay, great. So you start educating them, showing them around, putting them on client calls or having them listen in to kind of see behind the scenes how your business functions. You're doing this while they're on your board over the years. And then in such a scenario like that, that exit plan, that strategy plan, okay, let's make sure that it's structured in a way where it can just easily transfer over to your heirs or your kids in a strategic way. Or if your exit plan is, hey, I'm going to run and gun in this thing. I want to get as much money as I want to be as profitable as I can. After 10 years, then I want to go out and sell it to somebody else. I want to sell my business to somebody else. Well, at stage 4, that shouldn't be a problem, because what did you do back in stage 2? You optimized everything. So when you get to stage 3, somebody from the outside can come in and pick up tasks. In stage 4, when somebody buys your operational business, you have your SOPs in place. You have good clientele. You have a staff. And you could take a step back. You can go away, like us, to a tax conference for a week, come back, and the business is still operating. It didn't drown. It didn't burn to the ground. So that's stage 4. Again, thinking it could transfer to family members. You can sell it to somebody else if you want to be completely removed or you don't have anybody that you want to replace you.
Yep.
So it could look a few different ways.
Tax advisory firms are pretty lucrative, and they do sell at a high ticket price. So,
well, you looking to sell them?
The offer's right. I'd obviously have to consult with my partner. $1 billion. That would be my. That's my floor. 1 billion.
Yeah, I think that's the floor.
Yeah, maybe $1 trillion would be great.
Yeah. So we got some work to do.
Let's get out of phase 2. Not to like keep hitting this on the head, but before these I mean, guys, business owners, like this conference, what did he change it from? It was Tax and Legal 360. Now it's called Main Street 360. And there are tons of business owners, not tax professionals, not attorneys, not people that are CPAs, attorneys, EAs, but also business owners here. So business owners are obviously invited to come here and start networking with people like tax attorneys, like CPAs, like EAs, financial advisors, to start building their all-star team at this conference. So business owners watching, like, we're not sponsored to say this or anything like this. We're not getting anything for saying this, but like Main Street 360 would be an incredible event. It's held twice a year. So maybe we'll put a link. Another thing that Mark did say is your business, you went into business most likely because you are passionate about the business. Go into something that you know. So he asked these questions. These are all for you people watching. We're not going to talk about it, but what does your business do? Why do you do it? And what phase is it in? And like we just went over the 4 phases. Number 1, startup and structure. Number 2, optimize and operations. Number 3, scaling and saving. Number 4, exit and legacy. So I think that was Mark's call to action, was ask yourself those 3 questions and then figure out what phase you're in and take a step back, because we're all on the same field. We're in the same game.
Because at the end of the day, we are business owners.
Right.
Yes, we came here to learn some we came here to learn some tax strategy and everything, but this goes beyond that. This isn't a conference just for tax strategy. It's for business owners as well, which Mike put so eloquent.
I had to wrap it up in that way so Opus Clips can get it, and like AI to have like a good 30-second thing.
Good little bit.
Yeah. Anything else on the 4 phases?
No, I mean, honestly, I think we're probably good to wrap this up.
You want me to take it home?
Yeah, take us home. Cue the music.
All right. Well, if you're watching this, you're most likely a business owner. So I think it's just very important. And that call to action that we said is evaluate where you are in your business. Why are you in business? And once you have all those ducks in a row and you have that all-star lineup of advisors and people to go to, you're already ahead of half the people out there that have an idea, that are the serial entrepreneurs of like, oh, we should do this, we should do that, let's do this. Do you know that industry? Are you passionate about it? And how can you make money? If the answer is I don't know, then maybe you should just stick to your guns and do something that you that's the call to action. Evaluate your 4 phases of the business and keep kicking ass, keep rocking it, because what you're doing, you're passionate about. And that's why we have Ledgerly, my friend.
Absolutely. And just one last little thing. You might have multiple businesses. He was just saying, hey, that entrepreneur that has all these different ideas, you might have 3 different businesses and a real estate portfolio, which is a business in of itself. These could be at all different stages. So don't get discouraged. Have this board meeting, have structure in place around each of these businesses, and don't beat yourself up comparing one business to the other. Man, I was able to get to stage 3 in less than 2 years. I've had this project going for 5 years. I'm still in phase 1. That could happen.
Right.
Don't get discouraged. No business is built the same. And it gets a little dicey when you start even comparing to other people. Like for us comparing our tax advisory firm to somebody else's tax advisory firm. Don't get discouraged. Go at your own pace. Just focus. Have these meetings. You really do need to take a step back. This isn't going to be something you do every day, but make a pointed effort to do it, at least quarterly. Right? Sit down, and it doesn't need to be a full-fledged board of advisors meeting every single quarter. Do that at least once a year, but get a sense of, okay, how did I do this quarter? Financially speaking, we have like a list of to-dos or things we want to optimize. Maybe on our list, we let, we have 5 things. Number 5, it's been on that list for a year. Like, okay, let's stop kicking the can. When you sit back and do this review, hold yourself accountable. Like, okay, no, we need to prioritize that because we need to fix this problem before we can keep going. But that's all I got to say. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Again, you imagine you're a business owner. Keep crushing it. Keep doing what you do. Hoping you guys have safe holidays coming up here near year end. Get that board of advisors meeting right off your Christmas. If you don't know how to do that, get over to the link in our bio. We'll show you how. And keep keeping on, people. We're in this thing together, and we'll see you soon.
Cheers, guys.
Nice.
That'll do.
Not bad.